me ask you guys a question I meant to ask at the beginning of the podcast.
Okay.
Wow. Sweden.
I was talking to you guys before this that I went to the grocery store this morning to buy some sundries, and things were largely normal. A lot of stuff's out of stock. Have you been surprised by things that have been out of stock? Obviously, toilet paper is out of stock. Cleaning supplies are very low. Yeah. They were rationing water, which
the only thing that I
but makes sense.
saw was out of stock that I was looking for was toilet paper.
Yeah. I was surprised to find out coffee.
Yeah.
Impossible to get coffee right now.
Really, coffee in high demand.
Really hard to find coffee right now. That's one of the first things that went under. There's actually a subreddit for Austin. Well, there's an Austin subreddit, but there's another Austin subreddit. I don't remember the name off the top of my head.
Austin Coffee.
But it's like, it's the Austin tips for where to get what you need at certain grocery stores around town subreddit, and it's people have populated it with like, the fucking, like the H-E-B on Far West has coffee right now, go get it. And then people like flood to it.
You know, I heard
It's really funny.
pretty good one for toilet paper.
What's that?
Gas stations.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
People aren't flocking to gas stations.
Well, that being said,
But they
support
got
your
'em.
local grocery stores, smaller grocery stores
Your
need
local
all
gas
the help
station.
you can. Yeah, or gas station, yeah. Either way, you can find what you need, and they need all the help they can get, so.
They, I would argue, don't need help.
I would disagree.
They're getting slammed. Grocery stores?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Local.
They don't,
I will say-
they don't need help. They're getting
Mom and pop
overwhelmed with
shops,
1,000 people
Michael.
a day.
Yeah.
I will
buying
say,
everything.
I think like we have a couple of local grocery stores. I mean, obviously H-E-B is a local grocery store, and you'll hear us talk about it because
But it's like a local chain.
it's a local
Yeah.
chain.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's big.
I stand them
Statewide
very
at least.
hard. If you live in Texas, you probably love H-E-B for a myriad of reasons. It's a fantastic organization and grocery store. But there are like Arlen's, there's Fresh Plus, there's a lot of like little mom and pop grocery stores in Austin that are not overwhelmed right now. That you could just drive by and there's like 4 cars in the parking lot and they just have normal shit. Like I went to another chain that I went to Natural Grocers, which is like a Whole Foods kind of place, like a soulless kind of Whole Foods kind of place.
Oh, nice.
And there were like 4 people in, like me, my girlfriend, and like 3 other shoppers, and they had everything. I didn't have toilet paper, and they didn't have coffee, but everything else.
The thing you want.
Well, that's kind of.
I didn't realize I needed coffee until I realized I couldn't get coffee, if that makes sense.
They're knowing now.
I can throw you a couple of pods.
Good.
Dang.
$50 a pod.
Yeah, how much you want to
Growing your own
I'll get
bean?
Steep.
Yeah.
Dang.
We got that Dunkin' Donuts coffee too. Regular in decaf.
Yeah, that's
The
what's up.
supply chain
K-cups?
for coffee is fascinating because it can go from literally up in the mountains where it grows. People harvest it, put it on their backs, walk it down. They ship it over here, and it can make it to your grocery store, like all that within the week. It's wild.
That is wild.
Like it shrinks the world.
They move it fast.
Yeah, else shrinks the world. A global pandemic.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like what? You have like an example?
bizarre.
Of like what?
Ebola.
I think it's just theoretical.
Like how aware I am of what's going on in Italy right now, for
Yeah.
instance. I wouldn't be normally.
I love watching everybody, making the most out of this time. Like everybody's on their balconies in Italy singing, and have you seen people playing instruments with each other?
music
Like
and
the guy was
hanging out
playing the
with each
Titanic
other.
theme on the piano, and then a guy in a saxophone leans over his balcony across the way, and he's riffing on top of the piano. It's really cool to see that, and it makes me wonder like what kind of art might come out of this now that people are like, well, I'm stuck home. I want to make the most of this. I'm going to write that story I've always wanted to write, or make that music I always want. It'll be interesting to see like what comes out of this.
And
And
I be home.
Yeah.
How much closer people can get, like, to the ones that they want to be close to.
I just love seeing all the positivity that can
Not
come out of
physically.
something that is kind of sucky.
Well, being a history nerd, like most of the more influential art practices in history have come from tragedy. Like we're dealing with this now in the real world. Okay, we have to have some outlet for or happiness or something. Let's make art or music. I mean, I know Jeff's a big punk fan. That there's a reason why punk exists. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out yesterday that, and Always Open, I don't want to spoil that show, but I found
go
out that
ahead.
Chris Damaris grew up like a punk in the punk scene.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me. I was like,
Whoa.
excuse
I had
me?
no clue. I had no idea that
Yeah.
he and I had that shared connection. And I'm looking forward to not exploring it with him, but I was really surprised by that.
Well, you know,
Yeah, that's
And not like when people say they're into punk, like there are levels of how seriously you take punk rock. And at the level of seriousness that I have historically taken it, when people tell me they're into punk, the first thing I do is bristle and go like,
Yeah.
not. And I get like superior and full of myself and like,
I'll be like, I know pop punk.
But
you go.
About as far as
Well,
and
I
it's
Jeff's
like,
you
oh,
like
I grew up
punk?
loving
Yeah.
punk, like Yellow Card, and you're like, okay.
There you go.
But
I love Simple Plan.
but no,
Who's Mustaine?
Chris passed.
Switchfoot.
His rhetoric passed the muster, and I was like, oh, you were actually legitimately
Interesting.
into the scene.
Wait,
Yeah.
who was that? I
Fascinating.
missed it. Who?
I just said he passed muster. Like he legitimately we had.
Nice.
It was cool.
Which is
I didn't know that about
funny
you.
also.
Just set him down in a room and give him a lie detector.
There, Jeff was like, "Who do you listen to? Is it Black Flag? They don't care."
There was a bit of that. There was a bit of.
Goodness. Like recently, we were talking about the campaigns that are happening are bracing for presidential campaigning and the Democratic National Convention choosing their candidate. And Michael was like, "What's that song that you listen to, Lindsay, where it talks about Joe, hang with me, Joe?" I was like, "Oh yeah, Big Black, Bazooka Joe. You listen to that." He's like, "That's Joe Biden's campaign."
I say he should play it at his rallies. He should just come out,
Sure.
this like fucking 85-year-old man just blasting, "Hang with me, Joe, hang with me, Joe," and he's just going like this.
Maybe Jeff can weigh in.
He could get.
I will.
I would
Younger
get some people.
demographic.
I was
That'd be just
told
as
that
existing
song
platform.
is about a
Spell
Marine
it out.
who went crazy and murdered his wife and children, but maybe that's
just making
wrong.
shit up.
Yeah,
Don't
Allegedly.
know. Don't know.
Was
to
it
be,
you?
To be honest with you,
maybe.
I was Army, not Marine.
Oh, that's fair
that
enough.
we know of.
No oorah.
Yeah.
You were a SEAL, I know it. I see it in your eyes.
It was in the water.
I mean,
Was in the water.
Splashing.
I spent some time.
fell
with
off the
SEALs.
boat.
Don't get me wrong.
He was
you
at the
know.
zoo. He's
I hobnobbed with those fellas, but I was not
dude.
one of them.
How long was your PT?
I was like, I need to get photo of you, sir. Don't kill me.
Dude.
As a
what I was
journalist, how long was your PT? Did you have the same PT
Same,
as everyone else?
exactly.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, they don't tier that shit. It's like if you're in the Army, you're in the Army. It's. I mean, I don't. I assume that the SEALs and Special Forces and Force Recon and those people at that level probably have an additional layer of PT or working out that's required of them to be literal superhumans, which they are. But
Do they have an injection yet where I can just
Marvel
become
juice?
ripped?
Yeah.
It's like I just say stick me and that's my
That's what they
my
gave
physical
Kumail,
training.
right?
yeah,
MCU?
Yeah, yes, it did. They tested it
MC
on him.
juice.
Give me the peanut butter shot right in the
Yeah,
ass.
the
and it's
Marvel
like,
juice.
it's the Steve Rogers super serum, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Can you advance rank as a journalist in Army? I would think so, but
It works the same across the board.
listen, I'm learning a lot.
you could be a
Just asking questions.
No, no, yeah, no, please do.
Lieutenant Major
Asking
journalist.
Stupid civvy questions.
I know.
Idiot.
I only dated a Marine in college. That's all I have. So that's it.
Marine.
Great. Good for you.
Oh.
Good for you.
Hey, what's up
I
with
didn't
this
get to date
Duff
one.
stuff though? We can't leave people hanging
Oh,
on Duff.
yeah.
Oh, the
just
Duff.
like-
What's
the
up with the
stuff.
Duff
Duff
stuff?
What's the
Get into
foot
the Duff stuff.
fetish?
So what-
What's the foot sitch?
According
What are
to
you
the
talking about?
chat, they were talking about Hilary Duff being into foot stuff, but I don't know if that's connected or they're making a joke.
Oh, it's
so
What level are we
now.
talking about?
Or
We're talking
Keenan.
about like
We're talking about.
foot rubs.
Like Army Hammer's kids sucking on
No, we were
toes.
talking about
Foot
the
stuff?
send-off for PCs.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
No.
Well, how does that have anything to do with this?
That's what we were talking about. That's what we
Hillary
ended the show.
Duff
Not Army
did she make
Hammer.
something that the
Foot
foot stuff community liked?
Buddy.
fetish.
Because I've been a
Is there
victim of that
subreddit
before.
just called /r/footies?
Slash.
Footy.
And it's just,
I'm sure.
and that's where the Duff stuff happens.
What's up, Jeff? What you got? Hit us with it.
There you go. Oh.
You got some
That's
insight,
the
dog?
toe suck, man.
Jeff's eyes are popping.
I'm not gonna kink shame people.
What's up?
Nah, I don't think shit.
I don't.
People like
Hang on, let him
Piece of
talk.
cake.
What's happening?
okay.
I don't.
talk
I
to
just
me.
don't know what I'm looking at here.
are you
It's
looking at?
Boy.
here's
Explain it
here's
to us.
the
Whoa.
Let's hear it.
Break it down.
here's the Google results. Number one is a YouTube video called Hilary Duff Foot Fetish Pedicure. I want to watch that. Then there's 49 sexy Hilary Duff feet pictures.
Nice.
Are so hot that you will burn.
Let me ask you this. Why not find one more and make it 50?
14 celebrities that have been super honest
Right.
about their sex lives. I bet that's where we get it.
That's not
Let's
a perfect
see.
square though.
There we go. There we go.
Is that a square?
Dive deeper, Jeff.
This is the
Get
juice.
in there.
Here's the thing. That sounds just as trustworthy as the entire Goop franchise.
Yeah, this is
So,
the entire.
pretty
This is everything I
trustworthy.
would slack to Jeremy
Yeah.
right now.
You got
What's
it.
Have
happening?
you seen Shallow Hal? That's how she lost all the weight. She covered herself in goop. And then
You
at the end,
brought that up.
Is that?
That
I
like
got
that's
some-
the one thing she regrets. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I would be regretting all of Goop.
she's not regretting it though. That's right now.
She's like, how
Still
can I
doing
regret
that.
the money?
She's rolling in goop.
On that
later.
note,
Hilary Duff not in this article at all.
I don't know.
Not
I
one
don't
of the
know.
people.
I don't know.
I gotcha.
Chat. I don't know.
There is no chat.
God.
It's the first show.
It's comments.
The
If
chat
you know
was-
about Hilary Duff's foot fetish, you got to tell us because we can't find it on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, you
Not that
can't
you
bring it up
have
and then
a
not
foot
deliver.
fetish.
Hey, maybe
Just
that's a
her
rabbit
foot
hole. Maybe we got something to uncover. Maybe we bring Lindsay
Let
on.
us see the
And we
feet.
dig
Yeah.
Maybe
out.
we'll find out that Hilary Duff's feet died in Central America
she
10
got
years
feet
ago.
transplants?
These have been feet transplants.
Snapples.
Holy shit, dude.
They're really Avril Lavigne's feet.
Who's been holding up Hillary Duff for all these years?
Oh boy.
Damn, dude.
Mandy Moore?
Phantom. Dude, she got Phantom
Crap!
feet
I
thing?
forgot about Mandy Moore. dude.
Rapunzel herself. Wow.
How could you forget about Mandy Moore?
I don't know.
Talking about Sheriff Callie?
She's relevant again. She's back.
She's a mom.
Yeah,
She's
Mandy
like a
Moore.
cool
Yeah.
TV
Dropped
mom.
another album. I know that like a year
She's
ago.
Sheriff Callie, dude. Come on.
I don't know about any of that.
Disney
And again,
show?
Rapunzel.
What?
She's the calico cat who's sheriff of an old
why her name's
western
Callie.
town.
Oh, Westworld.
Oh,
no,
Mandy Moore's in
Westworld.
Westworld? I only saw season 1. She must come in later.
No.
Yeah.
They're out of the simulation. Now they're in the real world with
Yeah.
future cars. and
They're
stuff.
really pushing that story fast.
I saw the trailer.
Well, it's
Yeah.
about
Blasting it
to
out.
converge with Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Oh,
why
I wonder if they'll
also-
run concurrently
Yeah,
yeah.
calls it.
for like a season.
Okay.
This is like his when he got out. This is his new life.
He screams as he drives away right into Westworld season 3.
Did you guys watch El Camino?
He drives right into
Street? No.
Yeah, I did.
You like it?
Yeah.
It was interesting.
too.
It was like a little interesting piece about the world.
Super whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Better
like,
Call Saul is much better.
As a
but
viewer, it's easy for me to go like, it didn't need to exist, but it was
But
interesting.
there-
it wasn't bad.
but
wasn't
like,
great.
but I can
Didn't
understand as a
help.
creator to be compelled to tell a story that you've had in your mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Vince?
And it goes back to
Gillian?
we were talking about
What's his name?
just the world building that they did and how interesting it is.
Yeah.
That was the least interesting part of the world building for me. I don't know why.
It was also like a sliver of like a slice of life, like
Sliver slice.
Oh, okay, a
Yeah.
sliver slice.
So I
of life.
watched Breaking Bad and then skip that and then watch.
No. What you should do is watch. Fuck, if he's never seen any of it, should you start with
gotta watch
Better Call
Breaking
Saul?
Breaking Bad.
I think you
no.
watch Breaking Bad,
I never watched the
eyeball.
Yeah,
prequels.
I
then Better
agree.
Call Saul,
Work
I
that
agree.
way.
then El Camino.
Okay.
You should see it. It's worth watching.
Yes, yes.
It'll give you closure on some stuff that you might need
I'll add
after
that to
Breaking
my
Bad.
list. I just gotta look up.
I think
this
for
whole
me, it just
foot fetish
the
thing
closure
first.
came way too late to give a shit.
Feet.
Well, Bryan
that makes
Cranston's
sense.
great.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Who's
been years.
who's Skylar?
Yeah.
What's the actress's
Steamy.
name? Skylar.
Winona
His wife?
Ryder.
Yeah, sure. She's great.
The blonde Winona Ryder, yeah.
Yep. Great acting.
I don't know her name.
Perfect performance.
She's great.
Just said what it was. She got busted.
She was in
stealing.
Seinfeld.
She did.
Yeah, she was in
Hey,
Seinfeld.
is Society
Everybody
coming
was in
back? Is there a
Seinfeld.
Society season 2 yet?
Yeah, there is not yet.
Is
but it's
it
coming
next
back.
year?
I
Or
wanna
is it
see
end
that
of
shit.
this year?
2020.
Maybe we'll have to go
Who
watch it
knows
right now.
now, right?
Well, yeah. Now everything's being
Everything's
delayed.
getting delayed, but it's supposed to be this year.
I'm seeing mostly stars at this point.
you're
There's
looking
like,
right at
there's
me,
like,
baby.
there's some that are like blasting me in the.
I need-
Whew, woo.
Next week we're going further apart. We're blasting this. We're blasting this bitch in outer space. All right. What's out of here? What the fuck was that? Did you hear that?